Welcome to Data Meeting number 5, presented by Julian King. This week, our instructor assigned us new partners that would evaluate our data action plans and give us feedback on how we could close the learning gap, whether it be new ideas or built upon ideas already found in the data action model. My partner was Shelly Gray, an assistant principal at elementary school in DC. It was great working with an admin for this type of project because I got to see the vantage points that administrators look at when they make data-driven decisions about instruction. Certain things they look at data that as a teacher I don't look at, and it was great to get an administrator's perspective on data as opposed to the teacher's perspective that I'm so used to working with. Me and Shelly communicated through Google Drive, Google Email, and the UMUC online forum. This is how we exchanged artifacts from previous data meetings so we can analyze and evaluate what the SMART goals were, how the evaluation metrics were going to match your SMART goals, how your implementation tips are going to help build and close these learning gaps found in your data. Starting with my peer evaluation sheet, some things that really stood out to me were first the comments that Shelly left me, highlighting my formative assessments, reminding me they should be weekly exit tickets and short assessments, and then my third quarter benchmark were district-wide assessments, tips on my evaluation metric. One thing she added that stood with me: what suggestions do you have for improvement on the plans? She said a consideration to plan explicit mini lessons to model how to solve problems with this skill. Consider identifying a lesson or lessons where the teacher will explicitly model these skills. Following, she highlighted 2 multimedia tools that she felt would be best. Her biggest thing to me about using technology in my class was that less is more. Working with elementary, the attention span of students may not last long, and that's the same problem working with middle school. She said, don't worry about working with more tools. The less tools you use, let the students master those tools and master how to work with those tools appropriately before moving on. And that really makes sense to me that we focus on using so many tools at once. We want to use all these different new technological tools to help the kids, but maybe one tool might be better. Let them get used to that one tool and then keep working from there. As we keep going, what other technology tools would have value to these plans? She put iReadyMath. I highlighted that iReadyMath is Common Core aligned intervention support, which is perfect for me because in the county I teach, we use Common Core standards. So any intervention support has to be Common Core aligned. And that was a great tool that she added that would be valuable to our future plans. Going to her peer evaluation sheet, are the implementation plans realistic, viable, and valuable for the classroom audience? I think that her implementation plans are realistic to show growth for one proficiency level by the conclusion of a 9-week cycle. She will use activities such as the do what chart and similarities and differences diagram that will allow students to create their own inferences from the text. This helps for open-ended discussions in the classroom and with peers. Now, what suggestions do you have for the improvement plan? First, I suggest that she uses more technology. She only chooses to use Google Docs, and Google Docs is a great tool, but I think that some things should be used a little bit more. She may need to use more activities of various amount of reading from online, but I just don't think Google Docs is just it, especially when working with the English class. I also think that she should let the kids work more peer-to-peer. They should be able to work in partners and work with another peer. Small groups is always a great suggestion, but sometimes kids work better in smaller groups, especially with the ELL students that she has, that working with a partner as opposed to working with the whole group may benefit them more, especially with their learning and the learning needs that they may have. The technology tool I recommended was Lightsail. Lightsail works is Common Core aligned and it allows teachers to track the reading of the students. It allows them to track their reading level and reading progress page by page, and teachers can make adjustments as they see fit. feedback from my partner, to be reiterated, is less is more, and that you don't need to use a bunch of tools to get to catch your students' attention and to help show growth. And my feedback to her was that I think partner groups sometimes work great for English, especially with these students that have the English deficiencies in their language. That working partner and feeding it off a partner definitely gives them a lot more confidence going towards the future. My reflection for this project: it was great working with Shelly. It was great getting an administrator's perspective on data and how they view data. As a teacher, we view certain things to drive our instruction. Administrators look at different perspectives of the data to drive the school. And it's a broader picture for our administrators. So getting a chance to work with her and throw my ideas off of her and she give me feedback was a great opportunity. For future references, I still would love to use Google Docs and Google Hangout to do projects like this because the communication was seamless. As long as your internet works, the project will come out extremely well. And using this fifth data meeting, using this as a propeller to adjust my data action model for the future and understand how I can close the learning gap for my students. With that being said, this has been Data Meeting number 5 by Julian King.